The NBA has a lot of talent at the top, and there's a lot of competition for the MVP award next season. The MVP award is usually given to the player who puts up the best stats along with the fact that they're on a winning team. So this list isn't necessarily a ranking of the top 10 best players in the NBA. And of course it doesn't mean that the MVP is the best player in the league. But with that being said, we still have some time until the NBA season starts. So let's go over the top 10 MVP candidates for the 2019-20 NBA season. And before we get into it, a quick shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. SeatGeek is a ticket app that takes confusion out of buying tickets, and using the app, you can see which ticket is a good deal which has a green dot, or a bad deal which has a red dot for any sporting event or concert. It's an easy to navigate app, and it's a must-have for anyone who's interested in attending an event. Use my discount code THETBALL to get $20 off your first purchase when you first sign up for an account. And I will leave a link to the site where you can sign up, or you can also download the app on your phone as well, and use my code to get the discount there. So we'll start off with an honorable mention for some players. First up, I have Ben Simmons. He still hasn't developed the three-point shot, and this is very alarming 2 seasons in. However, he can do basically everything else and is a mismatch for opposing guards, and if he develops a jump shot, he could become an MVP candidate in the future. Now we'll move on to Kemba Walker. He will see a smaller role with the Celtics and a decrease in usage, but he should be Boston's #1 option next season. But I don't see the Celtics being a top team or Walker really carrying Boston, as they already have some solid players around him, so I have him falling just short of the top 10 here. Blake Griffin should carry the Pistons next season, but I don't think Detroit will be good enough for Griffin to be considered a true MVP candidate next season, unless the team surprises next year. Jimmy Butler is really just the same situation as Griffin, as I'm not sure the Heat will be a top team in the East. Russell Westbrook will likely take a backseat to Harden, and I think he'll see a fair share of struggles early on, adjusting to play more off the ball. Donovan Mitchell will have a great season with Conley taking some offensive pressure off of him, but I don't think he'll put up the raw numbers that are on the same level as some of the top 10 guys on this list. Paul George might miss some of the season early on, and he'll likely be rusty when he returns, so that's going to hurt his case. And Karl Anthony Towns, same situation as Butler. And finally with Luka Doncic, he's going into his second year. But I don't think the Mavs will be good enough for Luka to be considered a serious MVP candidate next season, at least for now. So with that out of the way, let's go into the top 10. At number 10, I have Kyrie Irving. So I have him pretty low after a disappointing playoff run with the Celtics, but during the regular season he was really good last year. I expect him to put up some similar numbers, and he'll get even more touches with the Nets not having too many other options, with Durant out for likely all of next season. If Irving can put up some great numbers leading the Nets to many wins, I could see him getting some MVP votes next season. At number 9, I have Joel Embiid. So he should have a big season with likely a bigger role, as Butler was signed and traded to the Heat this past offseason. Embiid should get a lot more touches and more shots, and he should average close to 30 points per game as a focal point of the Sixers offense. He's also amazing on defense and is simply dominant on both ends of the floor. However, as always, he is injury prone, and I wouldn't expect him to play anywhere close to the full season, especially with days off for rest as well, so I think that's what's going to hurt his MVP case next year. At number 8, I have Damian Lillard. So the Blazers had a great run last season, and they'll look to repeat again next year. It will be hard without Nurkic for most of next season, but they should at least return back to the playoffs led by Lillard. I don't expect the Blazers to be a top team in the even tougher Western Conference next season, but Lillard will put up some big stats which will likely help him at least be considered for the MVP award next season. At number 7, I have Kawhi Leonard. So this may seem low for Kawhi, who just won the Finals MVP award this year, but we have to remember we may see a lot of load management games for him next season. I think the amount of games he'll miss next year, which will probably be a lot, will hinder him from being a true MVP candidate next season. But his raw numbers and production should be MVP worthy next year, and he should help lead the Clippers to win the top seeds in the Western Conference. I could see him averaging over 25 points per game on very efficient shooting with great defense, and that should at least get him some MVP recognition. If he does end up playing more than 70 games next season, I could see him having a chance at winning the award if he can help the Clippers play up to their lofty expectations. At number 6, I have Nikola Jokic. So I think he has a real chance to win the MVP award next season if the Nuggets get the #1 seed in the West, which has a real chance of actually happening. Jokic is an amazing player, and I would argue to be the best center in the NBA, given his unique skills at the center position and durability which he has over Embiid. If Jokic puts up bigger numbers than last year while leading Denver to more wins, I could see him having a real case for being the MVP next year. At number 5, I have LeBron James. Some people may think he should be higher on this list, but I see him taking somewhat of a backseat next season behind Davis, who I do have above him on this list. I think LeBron will have a great season next year with a couple months of rest from not playing in the playoffs, though I think we'll see him take a good amount of games off due to rest, which will hurt his chances for the MVP award next season. However, if he helps lead the Lakers to the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, and Davis doesn't end up doing as well as people expect him to as he adjusts to his new team, LeBron will have a shot to add another MVP award to his collection next year, and it would be really cool to see him dominate in the NBA even as he is in his mid-30s. At number 4, I have James Harden. I have Harden relatively low on this list as he'll likely see a pretty big drop in numbers with Westbrook now taking some of his shots and possessions. He'll likely see a decrease in almost all basic stat categories, and having huge numbers is what lots of voters use to judge who the MVP is. It's a flawed way to vote, but it is what it is, and this will hurt Harden's case for the MVP award next year. However, if he can have an efficient season while leading the Rockets to win the top seeds in the West, he will have a very good shot to win the MVP award next year. At number 3, I have Giannis Antetokounmpo. So it's hard for players to have back-to-back MVP seasons due to voter fatigue, and Giannis is going to have to be even better than last year if he wants a shot at winning the MVP award again next season. We saw what happened with LeBron James over his career where he was easily the best player in the NBA for long periods of time without a doubt, though other players would win the award because it was tiring for voters to keep putting LeBron as the MVP. Giannis needs to make a drastic improvement to his game or help the Bucks have an even better season than last year, and that's going to be really tough to pull off. He would at least need to develop a consistent 3-point shot and lead the Bucks to the number 1 seed again for him to repeat, and we'll see if he can pull it off once again next season. At number 2, I have Steph Curry. We may see a season that is similar to the 2015-16 NBA season for Steph where he averaged over 30 points per game and was dominating the league with crazy shots and plays. We saw him take somewhat of a backseat behind Durant over the past few years when he was with the Warriors, but now with him gone and Thompson out for most of next season, I would not be surprised if Curry averages around 30 to 32 points per game next season. The main reason why I'm hesitant to put Curry number 1 is that the Western Conference is even tougher than before, and I'm not sure if the Warriors will be much higher than the 6th or 7th seed, but we'll see what happens. The Warriors do have D'Angelo Russell now and a still healthy Draymond Green, so that should be enough to at least get them into the playoffs. However, it may be hard for them to get home court advantage given that the Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, and Jazz all look better than the Warriors in my opinion right now, but you should never bet against Curry and we'll see if he can help the Warriors surprise the league. And finally, at number 1, I have Anthony Davis. He should be the leading MVP candidate given the position he and the Lakers are in. He had a lot of rest last season playing limited minutes in some games, and having some time off after missing the playoffs yet again with the Pelicans. He should be fully healthy to start the season, and he will get a lot of easy baskets playing with LeBron and having a bunch of shooters around him to help space the floor. He'll be a huge asset for the Lakers on defense as a rim protector, and a guy who can switch onto almost all positions, and he will help LA on both ends of the floor. He has no real weaknesses in his game, and the only thing that could really stop him is his durability, and the Lakers may monitor his minutes and give him a few games off. However, I don't think he'll get serious load management games like Kawhi Leonard, as I think Davis will likely maybe miss around 5 to 10 games max, as long as he doesn't suffer any serious injuries. He should have a big season with the Lakers likely being a top team in the Western Conference, and we'll see if he can win his first MVP award next season. So that's a wrap. Thank you all for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video and want to see more daily NBA content just like this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and also be sure to turn on post notifications so you can stay updated on when this video will be coming out. Also follow me on Instagram and hit me up if you want to talk about basketball, business, or have any video ideas you want me to do. Let me know as I do try to battle other guys there. Drop a comment down below who you think the top 10 MVP candidates are for next season. Let me know as I do read comments. I'm definitely interested to see what you guys have to say. So once again, thank you all for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys soon for the next video. Peace.